Hi, everybody. Welcome to No Judgment here with Tish Ross, the podcast. Surprise, surprise. I'm going live today simply because I had a request to do so. I'm waiting on my guests to hop in and hop on. If you can hear me, if you can't hear me, send me a message. But until he gets here, we're going to chat. So because I'm going live today, uh, Joe Bait and Tackle Outdoors requested to hop on and he said not to tag him because he's going to be on here anyway. They're going to see his face. So I didn't tag or anything like that. But Gary is going to be on and he wanted to come on. He messaged and said he wanted to share his story. So I decided to go ahead and oblige his request. He's coming on as soon as he hops in, and we'll do that. And so because he is coming on tonight, I will not be going live tomorrow, Monday night.
Says he's waiting for link.
I emailed the link to you. It's in your email, Coach G. I emailed it to you. So it won't be a link in the chat. It is the link in your email. So if you can go to your email and then click on it, then it will get you on. It'll put you in the basement and then I can let you in. If you want to call Pooch, he can help you. But hey, everybody, thanks for coming in. I'm waiting on Coach G. You can see that he's in the comments. So Joe Bait and Tackle Outdoors is going to be hopping in to share his story. Again, Coach G, I emailed that to you at the email address that Pooch sent me. So the link will not be in the chat. You can click on it through your email. So let me know if you received it. I sent it to the email that Pooch sent it to you. But hello, Rebecca, Touched by Yarn, Christine, Mrs. Gillum Farms. Thanks for being here. Hello, Josh, Sherman's Family Farm. Thanks for hopping in. We had so much fun yesterday. I can chat with you guys about that while we're waiting. And My Wild Home, Melody and Ryan, thank you guys for coming in. And let me see here. Back to Country is here. Says, hey, everyone. How are you? Evelyn Newman, thanks for being here. Who else? That might be all that's actually commented. Full Blown Country is here. We're waiting on the guest. That's right. And Wild Man is here. Hey, cool. Drew's Lynn sent him and Into the Mist. And well, thanks for being here. Be patient with us, please. My guest is getting ready to hop in, but I so appreciate you being here. I have to go check your channel out, see what it's all about. Happy Sunday to everybody. And Wanda Henry is here. Hi, Wanda. Debbie is here. Debbie Drake. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing. Let's see here. Who else? Gillum Farms is here. Johnny, MT Homestead, Mike and Terry. Hello. Thanks for sending peeps over. Rambling with the Brooms are here. Thanks for being here. Pathways Homestead is here. I appreciate you being here. LaDonna, Kickapoo Crafty Cat. She said she is just listening. And let's see here. Gary said that he tried to call you, Pooch, but you did not answer. It went to voicemail. Jerry Butler Family Farms is here. Hey, Jerry. Coach G.
Just now? Just share the link in the chat if you can.
Okay, let me see if I can do that. I'm going to copy the link. Okay, Coach G, I'm just going to go ahead and copy the link and put it in the comments. See if that helps, and you can just join me that way. Okay, it's in there. So you can click on that link, Gary, and oh, okay. Well, no worries. Wow. Well, I appreciate you for supporting channels. Wild Man. I really do. Thank you so much. Rick Giovannucci, hello, hello. Thank you, Susan. And oh, there he is. There's Coach G. Okay, so we're going to bring G Money in. And again, he wanted to come in and share his story. He's got some things going on, and we've tried to connect for a while. But he called us today and said that he really wanted to share a story today. So I'm going to bring him on in. I'll be watching comments as I can. Hello, Gary. How are you? Thanks for hopping in and joining me. And I'm glad that we could get you on today. I could only hear bits and pieces of what you were sharing with Pooch, and I told him I would be happy to have you on. And so I'm going to let you take the floor.
I really don't know where to begin. I've cried so much. Honestly, before I started talking, I thought I was all teared out and cried out. No, I don't think so. It's like a new wave of emotions about to hit your channel. I seriously do not. I mean, I've written down a couple of notes. Just my life sucks right now. I mean, it is, without being dead, it's about as low as you can get right now. And every day I try and get up and approach life with a positive attitude.
Mm-hmm. And I can say that I've seen that in your videos. I mean, I can see.
I always try and fake it until I make it, but I don't think there's any more fake in me. I think it's reality's coming up. It's really hard right now.
So what is it? What is when you say it's really hard and that reality is coming up right now? And I ask you this not having done a pre-interview or anything. I know that life has been, as you shared a long time ago on one of mine and Pooch's podcasts, or maybe it was mine, that you have always felt like your life has been cursed, that nothing good has come out of it since you can remember as a child. So what's
100%,
going on?
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I mean, like, people don't understand that. And I'm telling you, I try and fight the curse every day. Please continue. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, please. No. I was just, as maybe some people that are in, I actually see some new channels in, and so to not know where to start, maybe if you could just tell those that are listening, because I know that by sharing your story, especially on such a bad day, and I'm on one of probably, from what I understand, the hardest day so far. You've had just a really hard day today, but your whole life has been hard. And from childhood to actually surviving, hurricanes, and that the hurricanes have really messed up your living situations multiple times. And then also, financially, it has really hurt you. And then you have, and I don't want to say names or anything, but you have personal family issues that are going on. And so you wanted to come on to share your story to help others, but in order to help people to hopefully climb out of whatever they may be going through, whether it's depression, whether it's financial, whether it's family, whether it's trauma. What are you going through right now? Tell me what's going on. Tell our listeners what's going on.
All right, I'm going to try and do my best without losing my shit, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Sorry I use that word, but
it's okay. It's free
very
to be who you are here.
30 minutes ago, I thought I was dried up. Here comes the new wave of tears. My life has been total chaos since the day I was born. I've always been the redheaded stepchild. It's like, I don't want to rehash everything we already did on the previous, video with you. You knew I was very emotional on that one. Mm-hmm. Here we are again. And every day I try and get up, and try and be the best human being I can be, and try and do as much positive things as I can.
Mhm.
And I know people. I live this cursed life. Your title was perfect. I mean, like I was blown away when I saw the title of this last minute interview. I've lived a cursed life. I don't know why. I that's the thing that burns me up inside. Like, why me? Why I'm always trying to give to others, do positive things for other people. And like I've this is where it's going to get very controversial.
It's okay.
I mentioned the pooch, and I'm probably not going to be in a whole lot of favor of a lot of your viewers, but I'm not real spiritual as far as Christianity, because I don't understand why, God has effed me for 60, almost. I'm 3 weeks shy of being 61 years old.
Mhm.
I don't understand that. It's just hard for me to comprehend. I've lived by my philosophy of living life is to give as much to others and try and help others. I grew up very poor, very poor. And as you can see, I'm still very poor. 2 Category 5 hurricanes. I'm sleeping on the floor of my mom's spare bedroom. It is a totally, I left this phone on. Let me rectify this real quick.
It's okay.
Because I was waiting to get the link from you. I'm sorry. I
It's
apologize.
okay.
So now it's on airplane, and I'm so sorry. But so, like, I don't have a. All I know is when I wanted to reach out to you ever since last night, you and Pooch.
Mhm.
I've been crying, right? I've been crying because I don't understand this thing that's like, I don't have a life. I barely have an existence. And people don't freaking understand that. Like, there is no, like, it's everything is a challenge. Everything's a monetary number. It's like people do not understand that.
Mm.
I cry every day, and like I keep wondering, like, like, if there is this God everybody talks about, where the hell is he? Like, I've done so many things. And I know it sounds like I'm talking about me, but this is the reality. I've done so many things for other people, so many other causes. I'm like, I keep thinking in my brain, like, eventually if there's God up there, I'm going to be rewarded. Well, I don't feel that way.
Hmm.
I'm ready, and I'm going to, I told Pooch some stuff on the phone, and I'm going to share it on here publicly. And
Okay.
this is going to be a hot topic, right? I don't want it to be a hot topic, but there's a difference between mental illness and financial, like, destruction. When you get to financial destruction, you're working on checking out. I'm in that basement right now.
Mhm.
I'm not bullshitting anybody. I'm ready to check out. And honestly, I've been thinking about it for a long time. I told you previously, and with all the crap that's been happening lately, I'm ready to check out. And I already know how.
Okay.
I've already had some thoughts on where, and stuff like that. But it pisses me off that, like, there's something like me. Maybe it's because I've been a coach, but there's always that little extra, like, don't give up,
Mhm.
don't give up,
Mhm.
don't give up. Dig deep, right? But, like, I know how to do math. I know how. I'm going to be 61 years old. My credit report's going to be destroyed. I'll be dead by the time it gets repaired. Right now, and it's so devastating because I'm about to lose everything, and I have to, I don't know how many people have watched the previous video, but it's like my message. I don't know what my message is here today, to be honest with you. I just wanted to cry in front of the camera because this is what your platform's about. And
Absolutely.
and I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Like, I don't want to lose my YouTube friends, but the reality is, like, I can't keep living like this. My new job, please, if, I would like to reiterate a comment, like, please, nobody at my channel name, and I'm going to tell you why here. Please, nobody, please share this as at Jailbait and Tackle. I'm asking politely and kindly.
So they can share it, but just not tag you in it, not at Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
share it from your channel. Yes, that is fine, and that's all I'm asking.
And Coach G, I want to interrupt you right fast because I just want to say that, my podcast and myself and Pooch, and I can speak for so many people that are in the chat, what my podcast is about is coming on and being your real true self. And there is no judgment here. And, many people question if God is in existence. Who is this person? Or the controversial, whatever else anyone shares within any topic. Please know that you are welcome to share anything that is on your heart without feeling judgment. So I just wanted to say that. I don't want you to feel like you're being judged or anything like that. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So you said that your job, you were about to talk about your job.
Yeah, my new employer, it's kind of like a good situation, but it's kind of like turned bad. It's kind of like really weird. I had reservations going into this employment situation, and it was better than my previous situation, but I had some reservations just based on the main male owner, and that's why I think they're watching my videos. So I'm trying to, like, and we're gonna have a sit down on Wednesday, but it's really awkward. Like, just so many. I've seen so many things that, like, this is where I'm getting tongue tied. It's a very uncomfortable topic, as you can tell by me getting tongue tied. But I felt like initially, like, man, am I being used just for my information? Right. That was how I felt, because the guy had never really done retail. He's never done fishing tackle retail. And I had a wealth of knowledge, like almost 20 years worth of suppliers knowledge and stuff like that. So I started sharing all this knowledge with him, and I would email him constantly. Like, I would say constantly, like 20, 30, I don't know. I never really kept account, but not one time did I ever get like a reply saying thank you, or that's good information, or anything. So, like, to me, like, I already kind of like was hesitant going into the situation, knowing that, all right, there's probably like a communication problem here. At some point in time, I feel as being in management at all types of retail levels, that you have to acknowledge people, at least acknowledge an email, like saying, thank you, I'll review this, or, that looks like good information. I don't like that idea. At least acknowledge the email. But
sure,
that has happened so many times. And I'm not, when I tell you, not one time have I ever got a reply from any of the information I sent to him prior to me working for him. I was just setting him up, building the foundation for his success at his location. So then it's just crazy. Like, I get hired and we agreed on it. It's not real close. It's about an hour away, one way. And then I have to pay a $5 toll. So basically it costs me $20 in gas, $5 toll. And, that's, the toll, fortunately, is only $5,
both ways,
coming and going. It
okay.
doesn't, it's not, you're not tagging you twice.
Gotcha.
So I worked really hard to merchandise that store to make it look proper, set them up with all the store fixtures and I introduced him all these things that could make you successful in retail,
Mhm.
and it's been a huge success. Like as far as the layout, it's a very very small store. The front, and like I don't know. I wish I thought about doing a diagram, but basically the front of the store is the whole store is very small, but the front picture like a H-shaped design, like so to speak. So the
Mhm.
front portion would be like the art gallery. Then there's like a small corridor. Then you go to the back portion. That's where the checkout register would be, and the like the bait and tackle portion would be.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it's kind of like a really cool concept, to be honest with you. Parking out there just sucks. It's just terrible. It's like it just it pretty much mostly gets foot traffic because
Mm.
there used to be a lot of like quaint little art galleries and stuff like that around there. But Hurricane Ian took them out, like it literally destroyed that region. But it's starting to make a comeback. So that's why they're being so successful in the front
Mm.
portion of the art gallery. But so it's just weird. Like every time I try harder, like it's like there's another anchor on my leg, just pulling me down, just another pulling me down. So I worked. I was supposed to work 50 hours this week for them. I committed. I said, since it's grand opening week, I'll do 5 10-hour days for you. And then after that, we had an agreement to do 4 10-hour days.
Mhm.
And they're like, initially they were like, yeah, that's great, and all of a sudden I get a text message saying, all right, you're just going to work this week. You're just going to work Wednesday through Saturday, blah, blah, blah. And then from next Wednesday through Saturday, you're going to work 5 a.m. until 3 p.m., which sounds okay, right? But that means I got to get up at 3 a.m. So
Mhm.
I'm not trying to fight the deal. I'm just trying to stay alive, right? So I said, okay. Well, now I'm pissed because I'm losing 10 hours of cash payment. And so it's just like the weirdest thing. Yesterday they had the grand opening and they had all these family members there, all these little kids and stuff like that. And the kids kept coming in and out. Every time you open the door, it says front door open, back door open, and all day long, that's all you heard was these chimes and everything. And so every time, I would look, I would get up, so many times and I realized it was just another kid running in or a family member. They had a really nice setup for like a lemonade stand, and they were selling hot dogs and hamburgers. Really nice setup. I'm not
Mhm.
bad. That part was really cool, very creative, very good marketing. And so then, so I work all weekend, I get paid, and then I'm home for, I don't know, a couple of hours, and all of a sudden I get a text saying we need to have like a powwow or something, talk about your performance. And I'm like now I'm like, well, I got to sit on this for 4 days. So I pick up
Right.
the phone. I got to pick up the phone. So I pick up the phone, call the guy. He goes, no, I'm not doing this over the phone. I was like, well, we're two grown men. He goes, yeah, that's why we're going to do it face to face. I said, well, do I have to worry about my job? What are your concerns? I said, I would like, to address it right now. If you're not sure why I did something, I'd like to address and tell you why I did. And all of a sudden, and I forget, I said something like, I'll tell you exactly what my statement was. My statement was, I'm pretty happy with my performance thus far. So I don't know, what you could, and then like he jumped on yeah, I don't know. It was like at that point, he treated me like the village idiot, right? So I'm like, man, it's like the whole time I'm thinking the curse, the curse, the curse has just kicked in. And I'm trying to be polite and respectful, but now I got to wait until Wednesday. I got to be there at 5 a.m., which means I can't even get Dunkin' Donuts coffee. They don't open until 5 a.m. There's not one close by. So I have to find a resolution for that. And then, all the, different things. So I have no idea what's going to go on Wednesday. So it's
What
just
time do
great.
you normally go in?
I've been showing up at 0800 hours, working till 1800 hours.
And so, Gary, let me ask you this. I want to ask you this. You they've not given you any reason to believe that they would release you of your duties.
I kind of like mentioned something about it. I said, I have no idea what's going on. Like, so I got to sit on this for 4 days and like find out if I'm fired on, Wednesday, or so I have no idea. I said, I'm pretty confident I've done an excellent job. And, but mind you, this couple, they've never had a retail business before. I've got 30 years of retail management experience, 15 in an actual bait and tackle shop, another 4 or 5 doing tackle sales outdoors. So like I have no idea what their gripe is. And I started thinking about like what could be and I started thinking of every scenario. I did 2, maybe 3 short videos from inside their tackle shop that like it was just short, like one maybe it was like 30 seconds and one was like, and it was basically like a prototype test because I they want me to do some like marketing for them as part of our agreement. And I've already done that on the Facebook platform. And then, so I was doing some like, yes, I was like, I promoted like 2 or 3 short videos on my channel, but I was testing the sound quality because you have the pumps from the shrimp tanks in the background. Sometimes they can be not. So there were short videos. They turned out okay. There was, I wouldn't say it's anything stellar, but so I've been waiting to get the link to be able to manage their YouTube page, right? So the wife had told me about that and everything. So we had some dialogue on that, and she goes, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. Maybe I'll just have to give the log, whatever. So I basically I wanted the thing I want. I'm not great at YouTube. Everybody knows that. There's no secret. But I wanted to start fresh with their channel, do like a short 2-minute like introductory video and film that, and then have them tell them about themselves and how they're affiliated with the area, and that hasn't transpired yet, but it's just crazy. That's the only thing I can think of. Somebody got butthurt that like I was promoting my channel in their store. But let me back up and tell you something so everybody's clear on this. The guy knows my brand. He's known my brand for 3 or 4 years. And he has talked to me about promoting my brand in his store. I kind of like blew it off. I'm like, I don't know. Let's think about it. He's like, oh, I have all these, I was like, I kind of just blew it off. But so that's where like, I feel like if that's the problem, like these were only short little videos. They're like preliminary tests to do it on your channel, promoting you, have him and his wife behind the camera. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm in store for,
Okay. So let's do this. Let's think Gary, if obviously it can be 2 things. It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. It's either going to be, maybe they want to talk to you about promoting, their YouTube channel. Maybe they want to talk to you about some other things that you can do to help their business grow.
I already know it's something negative. The guy.
Why?
Because we had a dialogue on the phone last night, and that's when I called him, and I was like, and he's like, no, men, we need to talk face to face. So I got to sit on this for 4 hours, 4 days, and wonder, what's going on. I said, can we just hash it out? And I try and explain his. Sure. He's like, no, it's like, he goes, if this doesn't improve, then we're gonna have to take other action or something. I seriously have no. So here, I want to explain something to you to make everything clear in perspective to people. I've been working 0800 to 1800 hours every day. And usually I'm there early. That's the kind of employee I'm usually way early. So this one day I go to Publix, I get a couple snacks and some ice and to put in my cooler. I stop at the McDonald's right next to Publix, and I pull up in front of his store, and I see the shrimp truck sitting outside. It's 7:35 in the morning. So it's weird. Like I have to do like a little bit of a like U-turn to come back in and get a better angle because it's very narrow with the wide mirrors on my van. I go in the back, open up the front door, and I don't know how long these people have been sitting there, but I get a call. I get notified about, I don't know, hour or two later, like, oh man, I'm sorry, man, we overslept. We were supposed to meet the shrimp truck at such and such a time. I said, I don't think it's a big deal because I was here early. I took care of it, and everything like that. So then I've had all these vendors coming in telling me, yeah, I have an appointment with XYZ, for 0900. And I said, well, I don't know anything about it. You're more than welcome to hang out in here. You can sit in your vehicle. I really know. And people like this has happened numerous times where there's been appointments set and there's like no show. Right. So I'm stuck in the middle, not knowing anything about it. Then like these vendors, like this one lady, she showed up on Friday at 0900 and she waited for a while. She came in, she says, I said, I really don't know. I said, they have a newborn child, like 2 months old, and they also have a special needs child. So their life can be hectic. I said, he's also an offshore, fishing captain. I said, I really don't, I honestly do not know what's going on. So the lady says, no problem. I got to do a couple errands for a couple hours. And I said, hey, I'm assuming somebody's going to be here around 12 or 1. I really don't know. The lady comes back. She waits for a long time. No show. So then she comes back the next day, which was Saturday, which is the grand opening. The official portion of the grand opening was supposed to start at 10 a.m. And the owners are late. So this is like, I'm trying to remind everybody, please do not at me or share this at Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors, because I would be fired instantaneously. I'm just trying to share with you my struggles. And to me, it just shows inconsistency on certain things. And I think they have done some really, really good things. Like I'm trying to show positivity in this negative situation in my life. When I had mentioned to him before about my mom's situation, dying of dementia and the whole healthcare, he's like, oh, great. Because I'm trying to run a business here and you got to drop that, so I'm like, yeah, dude, all our parents die. So there's I'm seeing so many signs, right? But I'm like, it's like, I'm trying to remain positive in a negative situation, but now I'm ready to just check out, I just checked on Craigslist for opportunities for employment and stuff like that. And it's just like, I will say the one thing that was good with this job, it pays at the end of each week. Right. And that portion is good. So that's a positive thing, but just like, it's so easy to, if you're like, they have a really good security system. I have no problem with that. You can watch all you want. Right. And if I sit there for 3 hours and I'm picking the shrimp tanks every once in a while, I come back, I'll sit on the laptop and check Facebook or right. And it's like literally for up until yesterday, it was pretty much like very, very slow foot traffic. Yesterday was a big deal because it was the grand opening. They had all their family members there, people coming in. So there was something said that like when people come in, I don't get up and greet them, and which is not fully accurate. Yesterday, every time I got up, it was one of the little kids. Like one kid is like autistic, another kid's like just like a year or two older. There was a lot of family, like people just kept coming in and out. So it was like literally, I'm not exaggerating one bit. From the stool I was sitting on in the back, which you don't really have visibility to the front unless they have the security cameras on the TV, which I don't know how to do that. I think that's a special prompt that they only have the code to do, whatever. I'm okay with that. But I got up so many times and it was just a false alarm. It's just like these little kids running around all day long, in and out, in and out, in and out. And, it was a big event. So I dealt with it. But at the end of the day, it was just the three of us, the guy, his wife, and me. And there was never one mention of like there was a problem.
Mm.
Now I'm off duty 2 or 3 hours later and I get a text message that like something's not right. Like we could have addressed it face to face. I don't know if he just like went and reviewed the cameras and saw something he didn't. I don't know. And like then he said something about, he goes, yeah, I had a little bit of feedback from like I have no idea what, like it's just like so wishy-washy. Doesn't make sense to me. Like so like I know I'm rambling, right? And
It's okay though. No, but I get it. But let me ask you this. So, okay, say, and again, this is just because, as you know, you're sharing, my mind is thinking, and I actually trying to think and put myself in your situation. Well, first and foremost, I know how hard it is to find a job because I've been looking now for quite some time. If you don't know somebody, well, my situation, I feel like I have applied and applied and applied and applied and applied. And yes, even that in itself, without anything else going on, it can be quite depressing. It can be quite depressing. And I have to tell you, Gary, while Mike is keeping us afloat, my personal credit that I've worked so hard for, I mean, since you're being transparent, I'm going to be transparent with you. The credit that I worked so hard to get my numbers up, and I was granted, a few credit cards, which I used my credit cards to purchase shirts and things for us to build this business, which our business is not doing well. It's not. Well, now I'm not able to pay my credit card bills. I'm already, again, here come the calls and here come the emails and here come the calls. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And credit card people, and I know you know this, they don't care if you've submitted 1 million applications to Indeed or you've posted on Facebook. Hey, anybody know anybody that's hiring part-time, full-time, anything? I've texted friends. Anybody hire? And even door dashing. My daughter was like, you should just DoorDash then, Mom. And I was like, okay, well, let me DoorDash. So and that's picking up food and delivering it to companies and people and whatnot. Okay, I can do that. Let me do that. I even applied to DoorDash and it said, sorry, no more applications. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, what is going on? I can't. So my credit's going down, 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 down. And all the credit cards that I've used was primarily for our business. Well, that sucks because our business didn't produce and now I can't pay my bills. And yes, that is so depressing. So let me ask you this. So I'm putting myself in your shoes and I'm trying to think, when you go in, I'm trying to think, when you go in, if there's not an opportunity, if they're not even, if let's say you go in and they say, hey, we've reviewed or we've gotten this feedback and I wanted to talk to you face to face. And if this doesn't shape up and whatnot, then we're going to have to let you go. Okay. So there's an opportunity to continue working. If they talk to you about whatever it is that they don't like, which every company should, but not everybody does. Pretty much a lot of companies these days are just going to say, you know what, we've kind of reviewed and we don't really feel like this is working out. So we're going to cut you loose. Okay. That sucks. So if that happens, Gary, and I know that sometimes when we're in turmoil or we are in, I've sat on my couch lately and I have bawled. I've called Mike and I have bawled and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I am blessed that I do have someone that is keeping us afloat in terms of keeping a roof over our head. I am blessed for that. But in your situation, have you thought about, and I know it's hard to think about it when you're super low at the bottom of the barrel. Have you thought about what you may or may not do if they say 5 o'clock in the morning when you go in, it's not working out?
Well, it's funny because like this is like, it's all perception, right? And I have no idea what I'm going to encounter. I really don't. And it's crazy because this guy's never worked retail. He's a charter captain. He has a construction bit. And there's like different stories I could tell you here and there about like the stupidity of the whole process. But like my heart is telling me this is where I get pissed off with employers. And I've seen it happen to other people, not necessarily in my shoes, but like how many times, and I don't, Tish, you've been around the block for, a few times, I'm sure, like as far as years, and don't take that as an insult. I'm sorry.
I
mean
don't.
it like,
I don't.
but how many times have you heard of an employer bringing an employee in on a Friday afternoon at like 2 or 3 p.m. and say, okay, here's your pink slip. We don't need you anymore. Where's the 2 weeks notice for them, right? Where's
Right.
the professionalism? All employers want you to give them 2 weeks notice, right?
Right.
But how many employers do not reciprocate the professionalism to just like they just call you in on a Friday and it's okay because it's a business move,
Right.
whatever. So like it's like that kind of blows my mind. I keep thinking that, right? So what to answer your question in a long roundabout way, my thought is I'm ready to give my 2 weeks notice, but there's good possibility that they're going to say, okay, well, let's just terminate it today. That's how people work sometimes,
Right.
I don't like, I have no idea what's running through their brain, but I got to sit on this for, 3 more days, find out until, Wednesday. I have no idea what it is. So, and like one thing that really pisses me off in life is I don't like being talked to like I'm a 10-year-old. Like,
Mm.
I'm almost 61. I'm mature. I show up every day for work. I'm early. I cover your ass when you didn't show up for it's like I'm thinking all these things like don't talk to me like I'm a 10-year-old. That like frosts my ass. I have the same struggles with the power of attorney. Like sometimes I get talked to. I'm like I just don't get it. But so yeah, so like honestly, I am so fed up. I'm ready to check out. I'm like
When you say check out, what do you mean?
check out, leave existence. I mean, it's pretty clear. I'm sure everybody else in the chat understands what I'm saying. I'm ready to check out. So I am 100% ready to check out. And honestly, it would relieve all the pressure, all the problems. And is that clear enough? I mean, I'm ready.
Yeah, no, it is clear. I get that, but I'm just thinking, Gary, that's just not the solution. And
that's not the solution in your case. I got to
Right.
fight back because I look around. When I was talking to Pooch earlier, you guys have a lot of assets. You're sitting on a nice leather chair. You got a big TV and all that. I'm laying on a concrete floor at my mom's house with 0 assets, basically like nothing left in my name. So there's a big freaking difference for people that have, that people that have assets talking to people telling that don't have assets or any way to liquidate their assets to survive. There's a big difference. I don't need a pep talk. I'm telling you, that's the reality. And I'm sorry I'm barking at you, but I'm telling you how I feel. Like
I hear you. I
so-
hear you.
so
I don't feel
this
like
is-
you're barking at me.
no,
I hear you.
it pisses me off, like because people don't understand. That's why I'm up here today to tell you, like, there's so many people out there that are in like dire straits. I've been filming some stuff about Hurricane Ian and Hurricane Irma, like previously, like those 2 Category 5 storms destroyed my life. And let me tell you something else too. The federal government, if you have a Category 5 hurricane, they will pay. They're supposed to pay for everything and be covered on it. If they categorize that storm 1 mile per hour less than a Category 5 hurricane, they're like, oh, you're on your own. That's happened twice. It's happened twice in the last 5 years. Well, now it's almost 6 years, but so I'm telling you, it's like when people tell you it was only a Category 4, that's like total BS. Drive the places I've been. There's no way in hell. Anybody that lives in Southwest Florida will tell you there's no way in hell it was just a Category 4. No, like when they tell you it's going to take 5 to 7 years to rebuild, don't feed me that BS that it's only a Category 4. No, it was right on the, they're calling it right on the cusp. No, I'm like, so you can tell I'm pissed off. I'm not pissed off at you, but
No, I
I'm
understand.
I'm pissed off at the situation I'm in. And tomorrow, the power of attorney is going to be showing up here soon, right? So we've already had some preliminaries. Like, I don't have enough money to make it, right? But if I used any of my mom's like accounts, like to try and which none of they're not in around anymore. If I tried to keep myself alive, to take like $100 from her ATM or whatever, and bring back to his, it would be a crime. But I've got to beg and kiss his ass to stay alive. And so far he's been somewhat accommodating, but it's like a power kick. Like I got to humiliate myself to ask for permission to frickin' stay alive. That sucks. When you have to, like it just, I don't know how to describe this entire. My mom's dying of dementia. For anybody who doesn't know, she's 89 years old. She's going to be 90 in December, and she's dying of dementia. She's batshit crazy, and like I'm trying to, like feed her when I can. It's hard when basically I'm gone for 12 hours a day. She's supposed to take her pills at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Now I got to get up at, with the upcoming schedule, I got to get up at 3 a.m., be at my employer at 5 a.m., which means I'm supposed to call my mom around 7 or 8 a.m. Mom, get up, take your pills. Her brain doesn't work. So she's going to tell me, we're going to argue on the phone. I've already taken them. No, you haven't, Mom. You've been sleeping. She sleeps 21 hours a day. She doesn't get up. So it's like a really crazy, awkward battle. I'm trying to keep her alive when I know she's not getting better. I'm trying to keep myself alive when I know I'm not getting better. So it's like we're both dying. And I truly feel, I've often said this, like my mom's going to outlive me. And I truly feel like she's going to outlive me. And that.
Let me ask you this. So, one of the things that you said, and believe me, whenever people are sharing their stories, if they, obviously when you share from your heart, and I'm so glad that you reached out. And I can see in the comments, you have a lot of people that are praying for you. And,
I'm sorry to the people. I've not really read the comments.
That's okay.
I'm not ignoring people. I'm just like focused on the camera and your dialogue.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. One of the things that you said when you said you wanted to share your story, and we are all here, and there are people that want your contact information. So I need your permission, if it's okay with you, to send them your email, or I think Pooch has your cell phone number. There are people that say, hey, can we connect with Coach G? Josh Sherman actually wants you to call him. I have his phone number. We can give you, he wants you to call him after this is over. He wants to talk to you, to be able to talk to you privately. And he wants to know if that's okay.
All that stuff's making me cry right now. And like, I'm not up here.
We know no one here thinks that you're on here to ask for anything. You're here to tell your story. But here's my thing is one thing that you just said was that it may not make my life better by you ending yours, or checking out. That's easier for me to say that than you, but you wanted to come on here in hopes that your story would help by telling your story would help somebody. Gary,
I have no idea what that meant. I did say that. Yes. So like,
but checking out doesn't help anybody, and you checking out doesn't help anybody.
It helps me. Like, you may not believe that, but when your head's going to explode every day, and you know that you can't even get to work because you don't have fuel in your vehicle, you can't buy food and stuff like that. So yeah, after a while, it wears your ass out. And yes, checking out would help a lot, to be honest with you. And
but that doesn't help people by telling your story to come on to help somebody, Gary. That doesn't help people.
Story. So I'm going to tell you how I feel, why I haven't done that yet, and because everything in my life basically has been a failure, for whatever reason. And I feel like I'm going to fail at that too, right? So if I put a noose around my neck and go hang from a tree, I don't want to be a quadriplegic. I just want to do the deal correctly. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's how I feel. But my message is, we all go through tough times. I've been going through them for a very long time, way more than that would be considered reasonable. So when I'm telling you, like I told you that Coach G in me, dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. That's my message. But people that have not lived my journey are not going to understand how much shit I've been through. And I'm sorry for using it because I'm pissed off right now. You can tell that. I'm sorry for using those words. Bleep them out if you want. But I am like, my message to other people is, if I've gone through so much crap that I should be dead already. It's like hands down, I should be dead already. And my message for other people is just dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper. I'm out of digging. Like, my shovel's broken. I'm at the bottom of the ditch. I can't dig any deeper. I'm as deep as you can get. And it pisses me off. I just happened to glance down at the comment. I haven't been looking at the comments. Cheryl, I have to tell you honestly, I am a failure. By life standards, I am a failure. That's the reality. That's what I'm up here telling you. I keep trying to bail myself out, with a positive attitude, do positive things for people, but I'm a failure. Literally. I mean, I'm very observant when I self-analyze. We all know what success is, what mediocrity is, what unsuccessful, and basically I'm at the bottom rung of the ladder. I'm pretty much a failure. Going to be 61 years old in 3 weeks.
Well, I think that what we, as humans, I'll speak for myself, what I used to think was success and mediocrity and at the bottom of the totem pole, that is completely what the world says. That's the world says. The world gives us a ladder. This somebody decided to make a ladder of success. Okay. So for me, that's not, I don't no longer. And listen, I have been around. I have lived for quite a while. I am in my late 50s, and I don't live by that ladder anymore. I mean, I don't, believe it or not, Gary, the things that are here that Mike has purchased, like, none of this is not mine. It really is in Pooch's name, not mine. But regardless of that, my happiness doesn't come from what other people measure as successful. And so for you, I believe that you are not, by no means are you a failure. You're still here. You are digging deep. You have had a shitty life. You have had this life that has been so rough from childhood till now, and you're here, and that is success. It is success, Gary. You're still here. You're still digging deep. And believe it or not, you are giving people hope by sharing your message. You're still here. You're still here. And you have a family of people. Rita's Roost is praying. Everyone here is praying for you. And you're still here. We need Gary. We need you.
Let me, I got to cut you off there for a minute. Okay. When I got to make my van payment, and it's not a request for monetary donations or anything. This is not, but I'm saying, like, this is where prayers don't pay the bills, right? You can't live on imagination and hopes and dreams, right? Nobody's going to pay my van payment. Nobody's going to pay my credit card payment. So that's the reality of life. So that's like, I understand the pep talks in life, but the reality, I'm there. I consider myself a realist and not like someone who, sprinkles fairy dust and, everything's going to be okay. I understand how to do math. Okay. If I'm getting paid $600 and I've got $467 insurance payment, which I'm going through right now. And I know it's going to cost me $20 a day to go to work. Like, there's no way I'm going to make it. Right. So, like, you don't want to go into a new employer saying, like, hey, can you spot me 50, or like, like, it's just like, you just look like a village idiot. So now I've got to go to the power of attorney and basically, hey, can I stay alive another week? That's what it's been reduced to. People don't understand that. Like, there is no, like, I don't think people are understanding the big message here. It's not like, I don't know how many times I can say this. I've sold all my assets. I'm in potential of losing my storage, all the contents of my storage unit, because I can't pay the bill. I've got the United States Postal Service keeps upping their rates. I like literally 5 years ago, it used to be like $35 or $36 for 6 months. Now it's $88 for 6 months. I'm delinquent on that. And there's like all these little things. Like, it's just going to be a big snowball because I'm going to get late fees. And it's funny because, like, I was recouping, like, to a degree. Now the shit's about to hit the fan again. And I have no idea what's going to happen on Wednesday. And I'm so disappointed with the whole situation. Like, you can't say thank you one time or I appreciate what you did. That's to me is communication 101. If there's any business owners out there, when you go to work tomorrow, talk to your employee, like one of your employees or all your employees or whatever. Say, man, I appreciate all the hard work you've done for you. Hey, maybe knock off 15 minutes earlier. Can I buy you a pizza today? Just do something, show appreciation for your employees. I'm not saying they have to feed me or anything, but damn, a thank you. A thank you or a nice kind compliment is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It keeps your employees motivated. Or maybe even come up to them, hey, we were thinking about doing a new display over here. What are your thoughts on that? Incorporate them into your vision, your plan, make them feel valuable. Does that make sense?
Total sense. But Gary, let me just tell you this. I mean, because of our age, mine and yours and Pooch, and even younger people that were raised in a way where you need to work hard, unfortunately, the ways of the world now, people do not care. But what I have learned from and I'm just going to share my feelings from my personal relationship with God, is that nobody else is going to validate me. Nobody else is going to care enough to say, hey, thank you so much for doing that. Nobody cares. The only person that cares, and the only person that can bring me validation and joy and has answered my prayers. I've not really shared a lot of my story, but when my children and I were abandoned and it was just me and my 2 kids, I mean, think about having to raise yourself and 2 children on nothing. I was a stay-at-home mother. I had nothing. My ex took everything. He had my car towed. He said, look out the window. There goes my car. I have no job. I'm in under the roof of my house. He was arrested. He went to prison. I had nothing. When he gets out of prison, he still doesn't want to help financially. Nothing. And yes, my children and I got our hands and knees. I was pushing my kids, walking them to school in the cold, the rain, the snow, the sleet, and the hell, unless the neighbor said, hey, can we give you and your son a ride to school? And I was like, well, I got my baby, and I'm strolling them every day in all kinds of weather. I have no transportation. There's no bus. There's no taxi. I have no money for a bus pass. I have no money for a taxi. I'm rolling pennies to try to pay the electric bill. I'm pawning shit so that I can keep a roof over the head for 1 month. I get that. Believe me, I've been there. And we were on our hands and knees praying, please, God. And I was like, I know nobody's going to give me a car. I know no one's going to give me, make my car payment. I know nobody is going to give me a ride here and there. I know the neighbor is getting sick and tired of taking me to this part-time job that I only work 3 hours. She has to drive all the way to my 3-hour job to pick me up. That what I'm making is barely even doing anything. This is ridiculous. I'm done. I want to quit. Done. I text my friend and said, I'm ready to throw in the towel. Like I'm I'm ready. And she's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say. You need to get on your hands and knees and you pray. Yes, I was pissed off. Yes, I was pissed. I got on my hands and knees and I prayed, please, God, help me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to get to work. I don't know how I'm going to get these babies to school. I don't know how I'm going to pay the rent. Nobody's going to give me a car. I don't know anybody to give me any money. I have no family to give me any money. And I am not lying, exaggerating. 3 days later, because I had shared with somebody who is a prayer warrior when I was pissed off, and I can say I was mad at God. I shared with one person and I said, can you please just
I'm
pray
mad
for
every
me?
day. I hate to cut you off, but I'm mad every day at God.
I
You know,
get it.
Like
I get it.
don't, you know, like to me, it's like a fictional character because I don't see it. You know, like God, did you just see me give $5 to that homeless person? God, did you, you know, like it just doesn't make sense to me. My brain is like jello right now. It's been like that my whole entire life. I'm like, why me? Why did you freaking pick me to freaking torment me for 60 years? You know, why is my brother, you know, the favorite child? You know, like it just doesn't make sense. None of that shit makes sense to me. So I know I cut you off, and I'm you can tell I'm pissed off. I'm gonna let you
No, I get
continue.
it.
I'm sorry.
No, I get it. But all that to say, and me being angry and not knowing which way to turn with 2 babies and praying and asking, please help me. I don't know what I'm going to do. I had shared with one person who was a prayer warrior who, and yes, I still believed in God and he can take it when I was mad. And I still believed, even though I was angry and I was like, I don't know why this is happening. Why did my ex go to prison? Why did he ruin my, you know, but because I shared with one person that was praying, 2-3 days later, someone called and said, hey, we have a car that it's old. It is old. It doesn't have AC, but someone that's praying for you shared your message with us. We have a car that we can let you have. You're going to have to pay for insurance. You're going to have to pay for whatever. And I was like, all right, no way. No way. But all of that was from the power of one person praying and me just turning my life over to God. Seriously, Gary, and this is not preaching at you. I'm talking about myself. I turned my life over and I said, I am done. I'm done. What am I going to do? I have 2 kids. I'm done. Sold my house for $1. $1 to some weirdo. Seriously, got $1 for the damn house. I think I still have the check. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life, but I couldn't pay the mortgage anymore. $1. And then my kids and I were out the door. And then I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to go? I have no family except for my brother. Then we decided, hey, can we move in with you? You know, it was hell on earth. I'm not even kidding. And not even to say what my ex did, which incarcerated him. It's unbelievable what he did. The worst thing that possibly you can imagine. But Gary, because I've turned my life over to God and because I've been so angry, I was so angry and I believed, and yes, I did a lot of good things, but I never, and I know that you don't do good things to expect reward, you know, hey, we can live our lives right and we can do things for other people, but we do other things for other people to genuinely, and I know that you have, because I've heard your stories, but you have genuinely helped other people. But at this point in time, I just ask you to please lean on us, this whole community. I see some people in here that are just lean on us, and we're praying for you, and keep that dig deep mentality, Coach G. And if it's okay with you, if I get your permission, can I please share your contact information with there's been a few channels here that wants to connect with you.
Yeah, you can give my phone number, you can give my email address. Okay. You can just please don't at the channel. I'm sure somebody, you know, I don't know how many people are watching. I'm sure somebody's going to share an at and like probably further ruin my life. But
no, please, anybody that's listening, just don't tag Gary. Don't at Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors. He doesn't want this shared or tagged in this on his personal page. He just wanted to come on and share his story. And you know, I feel like with you digging deep that you've given hope, because yes, you have lived a life that has been very hard, but I'm telling you, I'm answering my question to you for you in that, Gary, you are a pillar of strength You are a pillar of courage because you are still standing. You are, and you can shake your head no, but you are. You are.
I'm just a crumb that fell off a piece of the cake. I'm just a little piece of crumb that fell on the floor. That's all. I'm a crumb that lives on the floor. That's literally like I appreciate you trying to encourage me, but I know my situation, and like I'm just a crumb. I'm just a crumb. I'm on the floor with the cockroaches. We really don't have cockroaches, but my luck they'll be soon coming up, crawling in my mouth or something. But I'm telling you, like. Who's 60 years old living on the floor at your mom's, crib? It just sucks. And my life sucks right now. And this is going to sound harsh, and I don't want this to happen. It would almost be a blessing, but the only way out is if my mom kicked the bucket, right? That sounds very harsh, right? Sounds very, and then perhaps the power of attorney gets generous, and like he's the puppet, he's pulling all the puppet strings right now. But I don't want her to pass away, but her quality of life right now just sucks. It's just like she doesn't, it's just she's sleeping in bed right now. Sleeps 21 hours a day out of 24. She gets up and asks every day, is today Tuesday? No, Mom, it's not Tuesday. It's just like you keep going through, and she's like, no, I already took my pills. Mom, no, you didn't. It's like the same repetitive crap going over and over again. So like, I appreciate the pep talk. I really do. But I'm telling you, my life sucks. Nothing. Anybody.
Okay, let me ask you this though, before we hop off. What will it take, and believe me, these aren't, and obviously everybody's entitled to their own feelings and interpretations. They are. You are, as am I. We're entitled to our own opinions, and I'm so grateful that you reached out. But I really feel like with this community, Gary, and you have to know with this community that people, I don't believe that people here that are that want your information are not trying to give you a pep talk. I believe that people are very genuine here, and I know that that in this community that people really are just trying to help you see things that you're not able to see right now. And I know you've lived a long, cursed
I see
life.
reality every day. I understand. I appreciate your comment, but I see reality every day. Pep talks and all these, like I'll pray for you. Like that doesn't get me through. The reality is
what's going to get you through? What is ideal for you? What and aside from
to be able to sustain myself without having to ask for permission to stay alive. That's I think pretty much been my message through this interview. It just sucks that I have to ask permission to stay alive at my age. It really sucks. And I have to go to the enemy to ask permission to stay alive. So that really sucks, right? So then now it becomes an interrogation, right? It's already humiliating that I have to ask as a human being to stay alive. And then now it just like everything about my life sucks right now. And I understand the pep talks. I'm just telling you, like the end is close. It's just really close. And just to remind you, I did a video a while back, the power of attorney, like, when he was on his bipolar disorder or whatever he was on at that time, my eviction notice was August 1st. So keep that in mind, right? That's something in the back of my head. My birthday is July 29th, right? So I'm going to give you a birthday gift and then evict you on July or August 1st. So that's basically what's churning in the back of my head. I can't afford, obviously, with all the problems I've had, I can't do that. So like that's in the back of my brain. It just, there's so much shit going back and forth between him and the whole situation. Like, why do I get up every day and go to work? Why? Like, is today the day that's going to be different? Like, no, like I thought Saturday was going to be a great day. Everything went well. And 2 or 3 hours later on my own time, I get a text message from the employer saying, we need to talk about your performance. Or I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, I just don't get it. I really don't. And like, it could be something stupid or minor. I have no idea. Like,
Mm.
you know, you had bad breath. I have no idea. Like, I really have no idea. So I got to sit on that until Wednesday, but I'll be there on time, do my job, and listen to another person trying to humiliate me, as an adult, talk to me like I'm a 10-year-old. Like, I have no idea what to expect. It's just like, it's ridiculous. But I realize we've been talking for like an hour and 10 minutes, and that's probably more than most people get. I'm sorry for that.
No, you don't have to apologize. No, you don't. I mean, I can control how long we go, but I want you to know that, like, there's obviously something within you that keeps you digging deep, Coach G. And I mean, that dig, I mean, I believe that is hope, that there is hope. Do you believe that there's hope? I'm just wondering.
I've lived through almost 61 years of no hope. So I hope that answers the question. I don't feel there's hope. No, I don't. No, I've been saying that this whole interview. I don't feel there's hope. If there was hope, I'd be smiling. I'm not smiling.
What final message would you like to give to anybody who is struggling? What is something that you want to say that you have not had opportunity to share? I want to give you the platform to do that.
That's deep. That's deep. I know you always end it, and I didn't really think you were going to do. I just zapped out. I would say if something's, this is for the people watching. If something's bothering you and you need to get it off your chest, go to At No Judgment Here with Tish Ross, because she's basically like an online counselor. She'll listen to you. She may not always give the answers you want to hear. I'm living testimony to that, but you'll feel better for talking to her. She's a great individual. Her and her husband Pooch are great people. That's the best message I can give. I don't know what more I can say. I'm sorry.
No, please don't apologize. You're so kind. And believe me, Coach G, I myself and Pooch, but I know he loves you, but I'm going to speak for myself. I love you. And I have to tell you that a lot of people ask me why I call you Coach G. And I'm going to try to say this without crying. Okay.
Hurry up. I'm about to cry. If you don't cry first, I'm going to cry.
I'm glad you said something. You broke the ice. You made me laugh. Okay. Thank you. You're the best. Is because when I had announced that I was going to run a half marathon, you were the first person, and I had made the decision that I was going to run, and that was my decision. And I knew that I was going to run it regardless of whatever, but you were so kind to give a shout out and to ask people to, hey, we need to support Tish at No Judgment Here. And that was this, I'm telling you. And so people ask me, why do you call, Joe Bait and Tackle Outdoors, Gary, Coach GS? Because I look at you, honest to God, as that's my coach, man. That's the man that gave me the pep talk, and gave me the encouragement to say, you know what, I can do this. And running it, regardless of what other people think, as long as I start it and I complete it, I've done it. And you are such a great encourager. And so I'm so grateful to you. And so you're just such an encouraging man. And I thank you for doing that in your times of living this hard life. And I'm going to end it on this. And you have to stay connected. You have to stay on here. I'm going to say a prayer for you. You need to go?
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
It's more like a statement. I hope this does not offend anybody. But I just got reminded. I literally have only seen a couple comments. So this is not directed at anybody in this chat today, because I haven't seen a whole lot. But I'm going to get something off my chest that's been really irking me. I've seen a lot of channels that get on your platform and share like heartbreaking stories, kind of like what I'm sharing today, like Tree
Mhm.
Haven and some of the other folks, and you know, they have some very sensitive information to share, and you know, it's hard for them to share, and this will probably piss people off, and that apparently everywhere I walk, I piss people off, but I'm my heart is reaching out to. I think it's okay in the chat to acknowledge another channel that says hello, you know, Tree Haven or whatever it is, stuff like that. But when people are on this platform with at No Judgment Here with Tish Ross, I don't think you should be like, hey, you know, I saw you shot that turkey, or you know, like have all these side. I think you should be here for a reason. That you're listening to the host and the guest. I'm not. It's not a about me thing, but I've seen that a lot, and man, that ticks me off a lot when I see that people are up there sharing, they're crying, they're sharing their story about loss of life and stuff like that, and people are having all these side chats. So I'm going to be the bad guy. And I'm putting that out there. And okay, now you can just zap me, do whatever you want to do.
I'm not going to zap you, but you know, I think what's really no, and I appreciate your feedback, but I think sometimes maybe from another perspective, I think that maybe when someone is opening up and sharing something in loss and things like that, and yes, I know that people are yes chatting, but maybe it touches them enough to where they feel like maybe the first step that I can do is maybe make a comment about how I lost somebody too. Maybe I don't know, but before we go, I am going to say a quick prayer for you, Gary, and then we're going to hop off. And then I've got a lot of people that are wanting your information to get connected with you. And Josh Sherman wants to talk to you as soon as we hop off. So, I love you, Coach G, and I'm just going to say a quick prayer for you. It's not going to be all long and drawn out. Okay, so hold on. All right. If anybody that's in the chat can just bow your head with me and just join me in prayer, I would greatly appreciate it. Dear God, man, you are so amazing that you created Coach G and you put him in not just my life, but in the lives of so many others that he has touched and he has encouraged and he has helped. And I know that you see him doing that. You created him. And God, I just ask for you to just please place your healing hands on Coach G, that you would help him to feel you, to see you, to know you, to be able to reach out to you and to know that you love him so much that you are there for him, even when he doesn't know, even when he doesn't see, even when he doesn't feel, that he would know that ultimately that you are there for him. You are the God of miracles. You are the ultimate healer. You are the one that goes out and leaves the 99 and rescues the one. And I pray, God, today that you would rescue the one, that you would rescue Coach G. And God, I hope that everyone that reaches out to Coach G and everyone that's praying for him, that you would just help them to reach out to him with positivity and love and to help him know that he is so loved, he's so needed, and he's so wanted here on this earth, Father God. It is in your precious name that I pray and ask for these things. We love Coach G. We love you, God. Thank you so much. In your name we pray. Amen. I love you, Coach G. I do. And I'm so glad that you reached out to us. And I'm so grateful that you shared your story. And I believe that you shared a story of courage and of digging deep and of putting one foot right in front of the other. And we are here to help you. And you're getting ready to receive a phone call from Josh Sherman's Family Farm. Is that good?
That's fine. I need to use the restroom, and I'll
Okay.
take my phone off airplane mode.
Okay.
And it sounds like my phone's gonna be blowing up, and
it's a good thing. We're giving it a thumbs up.
I don't know how Josh is going to send a watermelon in the mail, but you know, I'll accept it. And if the popo haven't caught up with him yet, I'll make sure I have the return address.
That sounds good. I love you, Coach G. Thank you for coming on. I'll
Thank you.
talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry for last minute bombshell and
You're good.
Thank you, Pooch, for just being a friend named Pooch. Who the
You
hell?
got it.
Who the hell
You got
calls a friend named Pooch?
Well, you got one.
I'm out of here. Peace
All right.
out.
We'll talk to you later. All right. See ya. Good night, guys.